If you have reviewed my investigations, you have logically recognized a running pattern of secrecy, lies, and cover-ups surrounding many topics from the UFO phenomena. I'm sure you also realize the powers that be will stop at nothing to instigate control over certain subjects they deem to be a threat based on fame and influence of such topics. The control program started with the CIA's program, labeled MK Ultra. MK Ultra was an illegal human experimentation program designed and undertaken by the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency to develop procedures and identify drugs that could be used during interrogations to weaken individuals and force confessions through brainwashing and psychological turmoil. This program started in 1953 and went on for decades. It was uncovered only after an investigation by Senator Frank Church.
They did the Brighter Days memory erasure treatment to me, so I'm having trouble remembering the details. They're foggy, because at the Brighter Days clinic they do the memory erasure, you know? What? The memory erasure, they erase my memories. It's a little foggy, but...
If you could remember, struggle, tell me, give me a date.
You know what? I'll have to go back to the clinic and see if they can restore my memory.
It's going to be soon, because the fans want to know, Ariana.
So soon? So Mark, you have to learn the language of my fans, because soon means 10 days or less. I'm not allowed to use that word at this moment.
I now present you journalist Nacho Rojo, who tries to simulate the Buga Sphere's flight pattern to prove or disprove the case.
Maussan managed that. Maussan managed to gather the most serious scientists around the world in this press conference, and we hope that our American colleagues will also give seriousness to this phenomenon. We have videos, testimony, and all I can say is chaos, insecurities, threats, and Americans know this altogether. There are certain stigmas regarding the phenomenon. If I see it, if I filmed it, if I'm a first witness, we have high-quality video, and what they do is present it publicly. We think that may be very little, but it's not. And on top of that, new videos show up, new witnesses show up, new sightings appear. We have to study and analyze this through due forms. We have many different videos, and we're going to stick by scientific results. We have to take samples, we have to analyze the videos, and we have the eyewitnesses. It's an awesome video. People who did not want us to say their names. Why? They're concerned that they would be burned by society, but they decided to give their names in the end. And the first thing we need to do is see what the most rational explanation is. We have to separate all different possibilities. Italian researchers did the necessary tests on the video, and they realized it's not done by CGI, it wasn't done by artificial intelligence. That's good, but that doesn't mean that there are different forms of creating a reconstruction, right, that would assimilate this phenomenon. So I'm trying to explore all different aspects. When we talk about artificial intelligence, we know that's not it. We already analyzed the image, and then we made a model of the drone, which we hung by a string. It means that it can support a limited charge. This sphere weighs 10 kilograms. Initially, it weighed 2 kilograms. So what we did is hang it on a string and see if it could be recreated as well. And we have research studies that says that the increase in weight is perplexing. When we talk about the Brinell scale, it was talking about 330, which is twice as much as the aluminum oil that is used commercially by NASA. It increased in weight. With this explanation, maybe we can prove to the world that, visually speaking, we can see something that looks like it. But look at its movement while it's hung on a string. It doesn't act anyway like the original video. And if it weighs 10 kilos, it couldn't be lifted on a string by a drone. We know that it flies through the air. Airplanes fly through the air, drones fly through the fly, and Superman flies through the air as well, but this doesn't necessarily mean it's the same. What we are observing here is that it's going to crash against a branch, and since it's a pendulum, we know that it's going to start swinging back and forth. And what William says, what William proves, his testimony proves, that there's a similar sphere that also touched the branches. It touched the leaves. So it touched the leaves, and the movement is linear altogether. There's no alteration, like with the pendulum. We have testimony and we have the video. With the video that Jose filmed, we see the different angles where there's nothing in the vicinity. I used a 20-meter cable to hang it. We could also use a 200-meter cable as well. But movement is movement. If you have a drone with a string that's supporting the sphere, it's going to move differently, because we don't want to pay attention to the first-hand accounts. This is why William's account and Jose's videos are not done with a pendulum. Maybe we did a recreation, but I'm sticking to the tangible proof, to the tangible tests. I don't want to prove anything. I want to demonstrate the following. It originally weighed 2, then it weighed 6, and then it weighed 9 kilograms. There's different explanations, but not all of them are true. So, in conclusion, I'm sticking to scientific studies, to first-hand accounts, to eyewitness accounts, and to the physical evidence. And if there are people trying to discredit this, let's just focus on the data. It's important to focus on this phenomenon, but we've never taken this phenomenon seriously. Everybody's giving their own opinion. And when we involve serious institutions, academia, scientists, they don't want to participate. Governments don't say a word. And now that we have the leverage, we need to work on this investigative path. So what's your conclusion? Were these videos made with a drone and a string? Based on William's account and based on William's description, it was not faked with a drone or a string. And the Buga Sphere, that's Don Jose's video, it wasn't made with CGI or artificial intelligence, because we see different planes where there's nothing around. Now, there's different videos that will come up, but these are definitely not hoaxes. These people are giving their faces on national camera. They're risking their reputation. Let's confront this with courage. What's your conclusion? I think it's the most complete case that we have of anomalous phenomena. We have all three. We have the video, we have eyewitness testimony, and we have the physical evidence. With a purpose and with ethics, we can do a serious investigation which would lead us to many good conclusions. This is unprecedented in history. It divided the UFO community in two. It's the first time that private citizens have one of these objects in their possession, obtaining private research studies from different schools. Do we have convincing evidence that this demonstrates that it's a hoax? No, we have no evidence demonstrating that this was a hoax. We have the witnesses, we have the scientists, we have the researchers here. And who are the people that are here courageously appearing? Thanks to your effort, Jaime, we have now marked a before and an after thanks to this investigation. Thank you, Nacho. No, thank you, Jaime.
One can't help but wonder what practices from MK Ultra are still utilized today. The Buga Sphere case is one that any person or media outlet who have access to the resources and interest in the UAP phenomena would certainly report on. What many of you, like myself, find interesting is the top names in social media, as well as the most prestigious news organizations, haven't reported at all on this case. Yet, we've seen someone from the United States Congress Oversight Committee show up to Mr. Maussan's press conference. Joe Rogan has a relentless interest in UFOs. Tucker Carlson has told us they're real. Chris Cuomo has self-claimed whistleblowers on multiple times a month. George Knapp hasn't commented on the case, and filmmaker Jeremy Corbell is absorbed with new government disclosure videos. I leave you now with another piece of the Nuance MK Ultra program. Musician Kanye West's interesting interaction with a former Canadian Department of National Defense employee.
Pasternak's job was to keep West from straying from the script, and he's willing to use powerful drugs to do it. That's what he said. But very few people took that claim seriously. In fact, it was exactly the kind of thing a crazy person would say. My trainer drugged me into submission. He's trying to make me into a zombie. Right. Sure he did. Have another olanzapine shot, Kanye. You look tired. So that's where the story stood until the other day. Nobody believed Kanye West. Then West posted something remarkable on Twitter, which for some reason virtually all of American media ignored, which is odd because media outlets are not usually in the business of ignoring remarkable things, but they did. And what he posted was a picture of a text exchange that he had had with Harley Pasternak. Pasternak was explaining that West had better stop saying, quote, crazy stuff. In other words, he'd better get back on script, or else he would be severely punished. Quote, second option, if you don't shut up, quote, I have you institutionalized again, where they medicate the crap out of you, and you go back to zombie land forever. Play date with the kids just won't be the same. End quote. Try if you can to imagine a more sinister threat than that, a more chilling threat than that. Do what I say or I will turn your brain to mush. I will destroy your relationship with your own children. I will send you back to, quote, zombie land forever. Effectively, I'll kill you. Now keep in mind, this is from West's, quote, trainer, not his physician. This is the guy he'd hired to help him do squats. A trainer? Really? Do they talk like that at your gym? Probably not. So what's going on here exactly? Well, according to his bio, Harley Pasternak, who is not denied writing these texts, once worked for the Canadian military, where he participated in experiments that measured the effect of various drugs on the human mind. Is that training relevant to this story? We don't know. We do know that based on this text exchange, which again, Harley Pasternak has not said is untrue or fake, on the basis of that, law enforcement agencies definitely ought to be looking very closely at Harley Pasternak, who, by the way, apparently has dozens of other celebrity clients, some of whom seem to be out there campaigning. Based on these texts, this looks like a crime. Why is no one investigating it? The fact that no one is investigating it tells you a lot.